Welcome to the Bitcoin Source, your ultimate destination for everything Bitcoin. In today's special episode, we're journeying with the unique traveler, Paco De La India. Join us as we explore this incredible journey that he has embarked on. And Paco's adventure is a testament to the power and versatility of Bitcoin. Welcome, Paco.
Hi, man. Thank you so much for having me over. It's an honor to just share the adoption of Bitcoin around the world outside the echo chamber.
Yes, sir. So, Paco, for our listeners who might not be familiar with your journey, can you briefly describe what Run with Bitcoin is all about and how it started?
All right. Hi, everybody. So, my name is Paco. I'm from India, and in Spanish, it means Paco de la India. And I started this journey thanks to the book called The Bitcoin Standard. My friend gifted that to me about 2 years ago. It was September when I started this journey of traveling to 40 countries by just using Bitcoin. And as I speak to you, I'm done with my travels. I finished that almost 10 days ago. It didn't take 400 days, it took me 800 days. But I was able to try and move around the world by using Bitcoin to see whether Bitcoin really is money. And I would really thank my stars when I was traveling. The block fees was really low. I was able to send on-chain transactions for as low as 10,000 sats for less than 10 cents. And here we are today speaking where the block fees is skyrocketing to $25 for each transaction. So yeah, this was my journey all around traveling from Asia to Africa and to Latin America.
Yes. So, I've been digging into your kind of thought process around this. And what was it about Neely Bly's expedition that inspired you to embark on this unique journey?
Nelly Bly had done that. I remember I read it in the Bitcoin Standard only, and she had traveled the world in 1870 around the world by using gold coin. And I'm like, if she can do it by using gold coin, I can use it by Bitcoin. And that was I found the piece of the puzzle. If you want to do that travel, you need to know Bitcoiners around the world, because these are the Bitcoiners that crowdfunded my journey. If I was not able to pay in places with Bitcoin, they were able to support me, and they used to accept Bitcoin from me. They crowdfunded my journey. They supported me with accommodation, with food, and with advices, and with further connections as I move forward. So I guess the point what Nelly Bly wanted to say using gold and what Bitcoin says is acceptability, and acceptability comes from humans. So if you have this community, and Bitcoin community is really strong, all they need is proof of work, which is what I came to learn as I ended my journey. It is all about proof of work, because we are moving away from nation states. It's going to be about communities as we move forward. It's going to be about that sovereign individual who is going to be connected with information as we move forward.
Yes, I agree with that. And can you explain some of the practical challenges of relying solely on Bitcoin while traveling? I know that, watching your journey on YouTube, you've had yourself in some places where there was issues with the border, there was issues with customs, there was issues with communication. How did you manage in those countries where Bitcoin adoption was kind of low?
Oh man, like those are the countries. I think so. When I would just end up start by saying, like, the first 100 days of my journey, or 125 days, I would say I was like 95% Bitcoin. It was pretty easy to move around. But as I entered Africa, the ball game changed. It all changed from just spending Bitcoin to just doing Bitcoin meetups. So I think so I would have done over 50 meetups in 18 African countries. And I started meeting the community on the ground. So the biggest challenge I found was there is information, but there is no transfer of information. By the time the information leaves English, and if needs to be told in Swahili or in Yoruba in Nigeria, or if it wants to be translated in South African Indian language, it doesn't get translated. So people do not know. That's one. And two, the second problem, in fact, the biggest one would be people all have been scammed in their own country by their own friends in the past. There have been a lot of scams that have been out there. Like these altcoins that are out there, those are called shit coins by the Bitcoiners. They really just do rug pulls, and this is what I came to know. And there have been multiple rug pulls over my these past 2 years. I remember I was in Uganda, and these guys had this big, huge banner of FTX, Sam Bank-Friedman painted on wall. Say, yeah, he's a great guy. The same guy 8 months later had done a bankrupt. Luna coin that was respected gone, and the stable coin they called was gone. So all these rug pulls were coming out. So these rug pulls were the biggest challenges. The second was the acceptability of Bitcoin as such, because everybody has been cheated in the past. And Mix of all of these things, people, and there's no information. So Bitcoin is used as a synonym to every other coin that is available in the ecosystem. People call any other thing Bitcoin. Like, let's say the biggest thing, they say Nigeria is the biggest trader of Bitcoin in the world, biggest user. They are not using Bitcoin, they're using USDT. They're trading in USDT. Those are P2P traders. Those are the numbers that have been garnered, and they start calling, yes, there is Bitcoin adoption in the world. No, there is no Bitcoin adoption in the world. There is USDT adoption in the world. So people were more happy to use USDT in the African region as well as in the Latin American region too. They were more happy to use USDT. It was the Bitcoin community that was happy to use Bitcoin. But how strong is the community? 200 people, 500 people, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million tops. That's it. I do, and let me just ask you: do you use Bitcoin every day?
I don't use it every day. I use it amongst the Bitcoiners that I know.
There we go. There we are. There's no on ramp, off ramp solutions. They have slowly and gradually taking that away, and the countries are getting stricter and stricter on it. So that's the reality of Bitcoin adoption as we move forward. And yes, there are challenges. Bitcoin is there for the future, that is for sure. Nothing's going to break it. Even these inscriptions coming down are just teaching us how to move over to layer two. Because as we move forward, yes, you knew the block space is going to get smaller and smaller and scarce and scarce. And we are witnessing that. And that is something great for us. Just imagine a nation state comes with $50 billion. You will clog up our network for the next 6 months. You will not be able to process a transaction less than what $1,000 per transaction. So yeah.
Yeah. Were there any countries that you were particularly surprised by the acceptance or the lack of acceptance of Bitcoin throughout your travels?
Oh, acceptance. I was really blessed to see Kenya taking the forefront. South Africa, I was able to use it in supermarkets. There was circular economy called Bitcoin Ekasi down there. Dominican Republic, amazing. El Salvador, Brazil. So Bitcoiners have had great circular economies around the world. I can start off slowly from Bitcoin Ekasi in South Africa. Yes, communities have come up. I wouldn't call them circular. In Uganda, they said they have started one. Kampala, they have started one. Bitcoin Cowries in Ghana. In Senegal, there's a community down there too. Bitcoin Mountain in Cameroon. So there are these communities as such, but I won't call them circular. Then there's a community in Peru, circular community. There I call there are like 15 circular communities by Motive Peru. Then Brazil, there are three communities. When I say these communities, I'm speaking 20 to 50 people using Bitcoin between themselves. Let me make it clear. So there's this in Brazil, there is Costa Rica, there is Guatemala, El Salvador for obvious reasons. I think so. I've visited all the circular economies in the world that are using Bitcoin. And non-acceptability, yes, I would say Africa would be forefront in there. Like when they said Central Africa is coming up, I went to Central Africa Republic. Even the president doesn't use Bitcoin, man. They have their own Sango coin. So people don't care about it. And in Africa, there is no time preference. A beer is cheaper than your future. Let me put it that way. It's a $1 beer, and you're telling that person to imagine, all right, if you were doing $1 DCAing every day, you are not able to use those UTXOs right now. They are like 3,000 sats. You're unable to use them. So I'm just saying, like, it is a reality check that happened to me after the end of my journey too. So yes, there are multiple Haiti. I think so. The countries where I was unable to speak in their language, I was unable to convert you or use more Bitcoin in those countries. Yes, there are those challenges that I faced. So yeah, there in short.
Yeah. And I know that you connected with some Bitcoiners along the way. So I watched your Machu Picchu episode and I know that you connected with Joe Nakamoto.
Mhm.
So, what were some enlightening conversations you had with Joe relating to Bitcoin that stood out to you?
Wow, man, Joe has been a great voice for us in the Coin Telegraph ecosystem. And one of the greatest or one of the amazing thing that we and me are in the play was um, it is an echo chamber and it is a game of money. It's like a privilege thing. And our job was to see whether the common man will accept this. That's what Joe did. And Joe and me went around. Joe has traveled to 20 plus countries this year. I went around to 20 countries this year to just go around to see whether Bitcoin really is money. And Joe does in-depth case studies of each country, whereas I go in as a traveler to just see how a traveler could able to do, because a traveler is just like other human. A traveler is just like a monk. A traveler is just like your sacerdote in Spanish, we say. He's just like one of those church guys who's going between places and seeing whether we can eat, travel, and stay with Bitcoin basics. And Joe goes on to see how the economy of this changes. And we came to the understanding like Bitcoin is like 30 years away from adoption. It is going to take years and years. As I said, Bitcoin is a government job where you have this job for the rest of your life. You know that you will be part of this ecosystem for the rest of your life. So this is what I feel like. This is what I think. So and Joe definitely, I really, I hope he joins yours and comes down on your show to just share with you what he has seen, because he has seen more of Europe, and he would be able to segregate between the privileged and the non-privileged really well. I was able to see more of the global South, so the Asian countries, African 18 countries, Latin America, Caribbean. I was in Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican, Trinidad, Tobago, Curacao. These are the countries people don't care about. Like, who cares about it? Yeah, Jamaica. Yeah, you have Usain Bolt and Bob Marley, so people feel good. But yes, Jamaica also has its own problems. Like there are some serious problems. Basic kids do not know how to do maths without using their phone. They cannot do multiplication and addition. So yeah, there are these challenges. There are challenges, brother. I think so. We humans together can make it possible, and it's a journey. So yeah.
Yeah, and Machu Picchu is on my bucket list of places to go, and I know that you've been there, I think, 2 or 3 times now. What tools or apps or platforms have been indispensable to you while you traveled living on Bitcoin?
Wow, great question, man. Definitely Bitrefill comes straight to my head. Bitrefill lets you do your mobile recharge and lets you buy your Uber Eats, Uber cars using Bitcoin immediately. Boom. Straight after that, we have our lovely the Bitcoin company that I used to buy prepaid Visa cards. They also have a lot of vouchers you can buy. Travala.com, cheapair.com, and future.travel. These are three websites where you can book your hotels and flights using Bitcoin right up there. I use BTC Map. It's a great application by Nathan Day from UK. Great application to just check what all applications are there. And we Bitcoiners have had made really great Lightning applications. So most of these countries have their own Lightning app. Like El Salvador has Bitcoin Beach. Costa Rica has a Bitcoin Jungle app. It is a fork of Bitcoin Beach wallet. Guatemala has Osmo Wallet. Brazil, these guys are using their own node. They were using the Blue Wallet, so you can Blue Wallet connect it to your own node. You can use that. Bitcoin Ikasi is using something else. So yeah, the people have their own apps that you can use there too, and there are multiple apps as we speak. And the ecosystem has grown. I saw one chart where they showed there are like some 300 businesses on Lightning right now. This all happened in the last 2 3 years. So yeah, there are multiple such apps. As of now, in the Lightning, I use Wallet of Satoshi, and I just deleted all my apps. I had a bunch. I'm down to like basics. I'm just like, because no more use case for me. Brother, it's going to become a store of value. They wanted to save JPEGs as a collectible. Now our money, Bitcoin, has become a collectible. It has
Mm,
transformed. Now it is a collectible. Money, as Satoshi, they're collecting that one bloody sat, and they're paying ridiculous amounts of fees for that one sat. So yes, it has become a collectible. So go get some collectibles. It's good time still to gather point
I
one.
agree. Paco, what was, the most inspiring story that you've encountered while traveling related to Bitcoin?
Wow, man. I think so. There are multiple, but for me, this is one of close to my heart, and this one comes from our friend Chris Ellis, 2011, 2012 Bitcoiner, bunch of Bitcoin he had, and they started a Bitcoin Foundation committee giving out Bitcoins to people, and people were not using it really well, misutilizing it. First class tickets, five-star hotels. So he really got upset and fired up with all of this, and he was a fan of Andres Antonopoulos, and Andres had said, "Where would you go? Would you go to Botswana?" So this guy moved to Botswana, and he got a land in the desert, in the Kalahari Desert, and he started permaculture. He took his Bitcoin, invested in the land. So by the time he leaves the land and he passes away or he dies, the people around him are eating food and they are well equipped. Because you cannot teach everybody Bitcoin. Like my grandmom is 84 years old. You can't teach her Bitcoin, man. You can't teach her what is security of the keys. Give her gold, she will take care of the gold, but she will not secure her keys. So this guy, Chris Ellis, for me was the best inspiration for me. This what happened to me in my 18th country. And I just finished on my 41st country, Curacao. This guy 2010, he's a founder of Paper Wallet, uh, um, Peter Troll. He was very quiet, and finally 2 years ago he started coming out. Now he has billboards around. He has a BTC Curacao thing. He's supporting people. He has come out and he wants the island to adopt Bitcoin. So a person who was a founder of a paper wallet was sitting quietly, peacefully for 10 years. But he was like, then it just becomes like the snake oil salesman. So he just wants people to start having it and start using it. And I was right there, and I was able to use it from a supermarket to my restaurants to going for a tour by just using Bitcoin. So really, there are good people. I can have multiple such stories, man, but just a couple for you to tell you. So there are great people. Bitcoin is a good people. This toxic maximalist is a very negative word. Bitcoin is a gentle plebs. They are just humans like you and me who did not have a say in this world. But as this world values money, now these Bitcoiners have money, but these Bitcoiners have ethical humans.
Hey there, fellow Bitcoin enthusiasts. We just wanted to take a moment to appreciate you for tuning in to the Bitcoin Source, a Bitcoin conversation. Your support means the world to us as we dive into the exciting world of Bitcoin, blockchain, and all things cryptocurrency. If you've been enjoying our content, don't forget to hit that like button. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us motivated. And hey, sharing is caring. If you know someone who'd geek out over Bitcoin as much as we do, hit that share button. Finally, if you want to stay up to date with all our latest episodes and insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss a single update. Thanks for being a part of our community. Keep exploring, and remember, the future is decentralized. Now back to the episode.
Yes, I agree with that, and I think that we're gonna see more maxis as time goes on, but the maxis are always good. And while you were traveling, I know that you're an avid runner and you run and you go
Uh-huh.
through these different countries to see the landscapes. So like,
Yeah.
what does running do for you? Like, is it something that is more of an escape, or does that allow you to really just see the countryside a lot easier?
When I started running, that was almost 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Running was something very different from my gymnasium. It really gave me my space out, and I could be with my thoughts. Like running became my meditation. Meditation is breathing, and you can do that by sitting, by cooking, by having sex, by painting. For me, it was running. It was me being with myself. So running for me was very important. So when I went around this, as I used to go before, people used to join me with my runs. But I saw these crypto people live in their evenings. They do not care about the mornings, and they just do not care about moving their body. These crypto boys do not move their body. Let me say, they just have money, but they have bloody fragile, bloody body. And I just noticed that. So I was like, all right, either you run your body or you run your node, because you're not doing anything, you're just trying to make money. So my thing came to me, run with Bitcoin, and I ended up running in lot. Like I've run personally, that doesn't include Bitcoin, inclusive of Bitcoin and everything. I've run in like 59 countries now, in over like 370 cities. Like running just gives me, and it adds to the flavor of seeing the countryside, getting my time out and just clear my head out, because you're just out there, seeing the world through the eyes of a Bitcoiner, which shows that the world is crumbling and nobody cares. Like you drink 4 beers, you forget that the world is in pain, because a beer is just a $1, right, or $2. So yeah, running that does for me, and I really love it. That's why I advise people: yeah, run your body or run your node, man. Do something, add some value to this world.
Yeah. Have you faced any challenges with customs or authorities given your unique model of using Bitcoin as financial sustenance?
Oh wow, yes, definitely. I would say the first one that comes to me is Fort Lauderdale, Miami. This was the Fort Lauderdale airport. I was going for the Bitcoin conference. Um, and I was coming to States after like 7, 8 years, right? So they were like, "What's your purpose?" I said, "For the conference." And they opened my bags. They found a Bitcoin stickers, shoes, T-shirt, everything Bitcoin. Like I have nothing Bitcoin on me now. And this guy was like, "Hey, what's up with this Bitcoin stuff?" I'm like, "Conference, this cool." He's like, "Bitcoin is money." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You can have it in your wallet." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How much do you have in your wallet?" And I had to show him my wallet. I showed him my Moon wallet, which was about like $400. And he was like, "Good. Do you have anything else?" I'm like, "Nope." And everything else is my card, my cash. He was like, "Yeah, you're good to go." And I was like, "Whoa, this gets tricky." So since then, I do not wear any Bitcoin clothes on airports. I just go like simple, plain. Nobody knows nothing. The same problems happened to me in Congo, Cameroon. for that matter. And yeah, South Sudan. Like people see Bitcoin, they see as money. I remember crossing the Nigerian Cameroon border. This guy saw Bitcoin stickers and he's like, Bitcoin is money. I'm like, yeah. And it was like a no network zone, zero. And this guy had like an old phone and no network. He's like, can't do anything. He's like, um, I'm like, do you want some? He's like, yeah. So I gave him like a bunch of stickers and I just went through the border. I know he knows that this is not Bitcoin, but like, what could I do that I wanted to give him? But then there was no network, so I was just like, yeah, just walk away from there. So yeah, there are the custom peoples that will like Curacao. They asked me, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "This." Hey, like, how? What's your mode of payment? And I'm like, cash, because if you try to leave their system, they will force you in their system. And I think so. It has to be a collective effort of every human of opting out. And I think so. It will happen slowly and gradually. It is happening. I am seeing this. It is slowly and gradually happening. We are like on the right path.
From your journey so far, do you feel like Bitcoin has the potential to become a universal currency?
Yes, it has the potential of becoming a universal currency, and this world will have 200 other currencies too, as we already have 200 other currencies. This world is technologically driven. Their technology will always be there. Bitcoin, there is no second best. Like, I was talking to Nick Szabo with this matter, and I asked him, and we had this conversation. We talked for an hour, and I was like, "What do you think of other crypto coins?" He's like, "Yes, they will exist, but I do not have time for other coins." And I would like to say the same thing. Like, I do not have time for the other coins. I would see Bitcoins go further because this is the first time in this world it does that gives you an equality in this world. It doesn't matter you're black, white, brown. It doesn't matter you're Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, or Christian. It doesn't matter your color, creed, caste. It doesn't matter your country. It doesn't matter anything. Just too funny enough, look at it. C for country, C for class, C for creed. It's C for caste. I just do not know how it is. Everything comes with C, but it is just so ridiculous. Like, for once, we would be able to move our money without anybody's permission. We cannot move ourselves because of our bloody passport. We cannot move there is no freedom of movement. There's no freedom of speech nowadays. And there's no freedom of money. What is left? And here we are. So this is where we are moving forward. Like, fingers crossed. Let's stay on the path and let's see that we go there collectively.
Yes, I agree with that. What advice would you give someone considering embarking on a similar journey or simply wanting to travel using Bitcoin?
Man, I would say there are a couple of people who are doing this. This is a student of Bitcoin. And there's a second guy. He is doing it in Philippines right now. He is in the island called Boracay. I am gonna find this guy. He just started this out. He's just living on Bitcoin. And if I find him, I'm just looking for his name. It's called Living on Sats. Shout out to Living on Sats. He just started it. He's gonna live 1 month there by just using Bitcoin. My advice to you is read the Bitcoin Standard book. Just read it. Have that orange pill. Opt out of the system. Step one is done. And as soon as you're done with Bitcoin Standard, do a little research and see what all companies have. There are a lot of facilities out there right now. Compared to when I started, there was nothing. So do the research of those companies if you want to do. I have done 41 countries now. I have videos of already 27 countries out over this year. I will release the other 14 countries. You have some material to begin with. You have some access. There are Telegram groups of these people. Every country has a Telegram group. Reach into that Telegram group and say you're going to do this. So people will come and support you. So let me just tell you, I was able to move money in every country apart from Haiti. So you can do this. You can get your P2P conversion out there. And so my advice would be the book. Do your research, open yourself a Twitter or a Nostr account right away. Connect with the community because Nostr is Bitcoin only as we see as of now. And yeah, go through my videos. I would be writing a book eventually as I get, I'm just on my vacation mode. So as I get through, I will write a book, but we have moved towards a digital era. So videos are out there. There is a lot of content. Joe Nakamoto, there are almost 12 creators. If I can just get their thing out, I'll tell you some creators like these were the creators. And if you can reach out these correct creators, you will have some great thing. I am just opening this document. Yeah, but yeah. So there are a bunch of creators from Joe Nakamoto to BTC Sessions to the crypto couple was there. And I'll say you something more. Bit Intelligence is there. There is Cole from South Bitcoin, South Africa, Cole. Isabella Santos, the Bitcoin magazine girl. Hug the Sock, Robbie, Max DeMarco, Julian, Kinetic Finance. These are just a bunch to name you. So yeah, there is some. And what's the Italian couple called BTC Explorers. And there are something called Living on a Paradise Island also in El Salvador. So there are a bunch of people. You have great way, you have some great encyclopedia to get into it. And you can also do it. Or once you would start using the alternate system, and then you would appreciate the freedom.
100%. Thank you for that, Paco. And the last question, looking back, is there anything you would do differently? Any country you wish you had visited or any experience you wish you had dived deeper into?
Wow. I think so. I I think so. I don't want to change anything. But I think so. I should have added a little bit of Europe to just get a little bit of contrast of the strongest Bitcoin communities in the world come from Czech, Slovakia. When they host a Bitcoin conference in their Slovak language, in their own language, in their Czech language, 3,000 people come. 3,000. All right. Berlin, greatest Bitcoin communities. Germany, Czech, Czechoslovakia, Czech and Slovakia. I would love to see those communities. Like, I hope, inshallah, this year I get to see this. I would really love to see this. I'm like, why are they so strong? What have they done so different? And like, I say this is because India hosted a Bitcoin conference, 100 people came. We are a country of 1.5 billion people. Okay. Brazil hosted a conference with 250 million people. How many people came? 250 million. 250. All right. Like El Salvador, you saw El Salvador. All right, brother. You were in El Salvador. All right. El Salvador, last year Bitcoin price was $16,000. All right. This year Bitcoin price was $35,000. Okay. This year a ticket to El Salvador adopting Bitcoin was $1. Why weren't there people? We should be sold out, right?
Yeah.
So like I just feel like I think so the most important things I would really like to add would be get content. Okay, one thing that I would do different, yes, I would say this is when I go there, before going there, make a video in their regional language of what is Bitcoin in their regional language. There was one guy in Ethiopia I met, he did it in his language, Amharic, sorry, in Amharic, and bloody hell, I was so happy. We went to a Bitcoin meetup and I played that video for people, 20 minutes. Great, amazing. It just connects with the people if I speak to you in your language, man. And this is what I would do, man. Like I went to so many countries, one in French, one in this, just one in their local language, just connected. So if I could do this, that's something I would change, man. Everything else just worked out perfect. It made me grow from being a boy to be a man. For once I saw that I am blessed. Otherwise, we were just entitled bitches. This is what we are. We are entitled. We just feel like, oh, I deserve everything. Man, like brother, I was walking day before yesterday. It was yesterday, in fact, 9 a.m. to go get to apply for my visa to Portugal. And just below the bridge, I saw this kid who slept on this just below the bridge and he was burning fire. We are two different walks of people, but we are same humans. We have the same thing. Like we just trust, just feel like we have all the problems in the world. Like we treat ourselves. This is we are entitled humans, man. You're in United States of America. You see how it is, right? Just the buying culture doesn't work everywhere. If buying is the culture, that's why we have all the debt. Come on. So yeah, this would be my message to people. Would be like, do it in your local language, please. Namaste to you all. Please do it in your local language. Bitcoin education. It would be very, very helpful. Human Rights Foundation, I would give a shout out to them. HRF is ready to support you guys. HRF really loves these efforts in their own languages. Please do so.
Yes. Paco, thank you, brother, for being on the Bitcoin Source. Your journey is truly one of a kind, and we're thrilled to get a glimpse into the world of Bitcoin through your unique lens. Safe travels, and thank you for sharing your story with us, brother.
Namaste. Thank you so much. Blessings to you all. Stay humble. One message, last one to you all. This was the most important thing. I think so. I look straight down to the camera and say, Mark Twain said this: if you don't follow news, you're uninformed. But if you follow news, you're misinformed. Zoom out, do your study, do your own research, Trust is good, but verification is better. Good luck. Welcome to the Matrix.